Darren here, Fort Thunder Harley-Davidson. I'm here today with Tracy from BG Performance Products and Aaron from our service department. We've got some new performance products for your motorcycle that we want you to think about before you do your next service. And Tracy's going to do a couple of really awesome demonstrations for us. So Tracy, take it away.
All right, guys. When you're doing your normal oil change, you're going to use Harley-Davidson motor oil. What we want to do is we want to add to it. All right, we want to make it even better, give you more horsepower, less friction, more torque. We want to make it a lot better for you guys. So let me show you a couple of quick things. One of the things is this EPR. What this does is this cleans out your engine. This is an example right here, Darren, of what the internal parts of your engine look like. Okay, and so what we want to do is we want to add this to your dirty engine oil. I've got a little bit here for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up because we're going to run this at 15. We're going to run this for about 15 minutes in your old engine oil. This cleaner goes in, and what this is a detergent and a dispersant. Okay, and what this does is this cleans all of the gums and varnishes and deposits off the internal working parts of your engine. It's going to clean all the micro passageways inside your engine. Those micro passageways are less than a hair in width, and you want to get all those cleaned. It's going to clean your ringland area. It's going to clean up those rings, get them all nice, and so you have good combustion inside your engine again. That's exactly what you want. So it's a detergent and a dispersant, so it breaks it down at a molecular level, so it just pours right out with your old engine oil. So what I'm going to show you is what happens after that gets done.
Wow.
You saw what it looked like before. Now you see what the internal working parts of your engine look like.
Look at that.
It's brand new, just like it was when it was fresh out of the factory. So that's what EPR does. So once you do that, then you just drain out the old oil, and then you add in the new oil. So
that's before and after there, huh?
That's before and after. That's what happens when you clean it up. This next product, this has a little bit, this is some engine oil. And so what I'm going to do is your engine oil starts to oxidize, okay? It starts to coat the inside parts of your engine, of your fuel lines.
Oh, is that one fuel? Not oil?
So this one is fuel. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to shake this up because I'm going to show you what happens to the internal working parts of your fuel system when it begins. You put some oil in, you can begin to see what happens. It coats and oxidizes. You see all those markings there?
Oh, yeah.
That's coating up all of your fuel lines, which is going to create, you're not going to have the spray pattern that you want in your fuel injection. It's going to clog up those pintles. So what we're going to do as a part of this service is we're going to give you some 44K. What this is going to do is this is going to begin to clean up. This works over time with a full tank of fuel. So as we put this in, this slowly works and begins to clean up. You won't be able to see the full difference here, but you'll be able to start to see a real difference. This works with a full tank of gas, begins to clean all of your fuel lines, your injectors, cleans those pintles in there so your spray patterns are good. And you can begin to see how it's already starting to clean it up.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what 44K is going to do as a part of this service. It's already cleaning up. It cleans over time, but that's what we want to do. You'll see even more of a dramatic difference over the full tank of that gas, okay? So you can see how it's already cleaning it up.
And that'll just get burned up in combustion and
burns up in combustion, breaks it down at a molecular level, and burns it right off. Okay.
Look at that.
Now the biggest one is this. This is the real fun one. This is called Engine Performance Concentrate. In your engine oil, you put engine oil in because you want to make sure that it's lubricated. So what I want to show you here is this is just a bearing to simulate what the metal working parts of your engine are. If you run your engine without engine oil, this is what's going to happen.
Ooh.
It's going to lock up, okay? So you can see I'm at about 40 pounds of pressure, and you can see what happens.
You can smell it too.
You can smell it.
Yeah, you can smell the grinding.
My bearing came off here, so give me just a second. This is what happens when you go live, okay? So I've got that there, and you can see how it's scarred it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to create metal shavings inside your engine. That's not good for oil, and that's not good for your engine. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add some engine oil to it, okay? And we think That's what's going to solve my problems. Is it's going to help me not lose. I'm going to be able to have a frictionless engine. And so I've got a little bit of engine oil here. Just going to pour that in. Make sure that move this up, and now we're going to run it. You can see it's running with some oil on it.
Oh, neat.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some pressure on it again. And it locks up again. This time at about 50 foot-pounds of pressure.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see here, it still scars.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little bit smoother, but it's still scarring it up.
Yeah.
Now, this is what we're going to do this time. We're going to add some of this engine performance concentrate. Let me get my pliers working for me here. And what the engine performance concentrate is going to do is it's going to help reduce the oxidation that goes on inside your engine. It's going to help lubricate all the parts. And what it's going to do is it's going to make sure that you get more torque and more horsepower out of your engine. Because that's what we all want. We all want to get a little bit more juice going in our car, in our motorcycles.
Everybody wants more horsepower and torque.
So now, just take a little bit of this concentrate. This just goes in with your new oil, okay? So now I've got that in there with my new oil. And let's see what happens here when we begin to run it.
He's really leaning on it too. And it is not stopping. Look at that. Look at that, off the chart.
I've got my full body weight, as much body weight as I can get on it.
Wow.
And I can't make it shut off. I would imagine it's probably about 120 foot-pounds of torque that I put on it. It would never lock up. And look, at just a little small mark
Oh, yeah.
on that bearing this time. And that's what the engine performance concentrate's going to do. It's going to make sure that the lubricity in your oil is maintained. It actually increases, it works with the synthetic oil that you're putting in there. It's going to make it last longer. It's going to make it run better, increase torque and horsepower all the way around. And that's what the maximum engine performance oil change is going to do for you from BG.
And you can use those in any age, so twin cam, Milwaukee 8, Evo.
Any vehicle that's going to get a standard oil change,
Gotcha.
like you're going to do, that's what we want to do. This just is these are additional products that you put in with your oil change. You clean it up, and then you add the engine performance concentrate to it, and it's going to prolong the life.
Regular oil, synthetic oil, works with both?
Either one.
Works
Either
with
one.
both.
Works with both of them.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
You betcha.
And now I'm going to take it over to Aaron. Aaron's going to go over what it costs, because that's the big question I'm sure you have right now after seeing that demonstration.
Yeah, coming straight off of the engine performance concentrate, we add that to your premium oil change service for $179.90. It includes parts, labor, oil filter, all of that to get you on the road and going. If you're looking for a little bit more, we have the maximum engine performance service. That's a oil change, multi-point inspections on both of them. But that is the engine performance restoration, the fuel systems cleaner, and the concentrate. If you decide to do this before 10,000 miles, they will give you 100% coverage of this $1,000. They stand behind their product for $1,000. If anything goes wrong in there,
Awesome.
they will back it up by $1,000. If you do it after your first 10,000 miles, you get half of that coverage. So, do it new, keep it done every year, and if they're going to put $1,000 behind it, I would think that nothing's probably going to happen.
Awesome. What else have you got over here?
Here's a couple charts of how much you could gain up to 5 horsepower. Maybe a little bit more than that for torque. This is a Harley-Davidson 2008 with 138,000 miles on it, and before the treatment, it was putting out 66 horsepower. After the treatment, it's putting out 70. Pretty big jump for just adding stuff to your oil and fuel system. The torque, same kind of deal here. 79 torque foot-pounds of torque before, 85 after. And we have several different examples on this. Even new Harleys putting out more than they did probably from the factory, honestly. After only 5,400 miles, you're gaining an increase in torque and horsepower.
Awesome. So the best thing to do is give us a call or come down,
Yep.
and we'll get you hooked up with more horsepower and torque and longer engine life and better performance.
Yep.
Thanks again.
You bet, guys.
Thanks for being here. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for watching.